see 1 centimeter above the orbital rim. And this is an example where this patient was treated by a colleague with injection points way too high, and that's how she ends up with the magnificent eyebrow. So we did this correction, half a unit. I go quite close to the eyebrow, and I do inject very superficially, and I inject only half a unit. And here you see then the result with the correction, and here you see the right injection pattern. So probably we can skip this injection point. Medially, we have to go to the lateral end of the corrugator muscle. Eyebrow positioning very close to the eyebrow, and this is where the orbicularis muscle pulls down the lateral tail of the eyebrow. And what we then get is a very nice elevation of the eyebrow, and also a nice and natural curved look of the eyebrow when the eyebrow is moved. You see the difference in the elevation of the eyebrow. And the next aspect I want to talk is the forehead, and all of you know that the forehead actually is the most difficult part to treat because we have to keep a balance between the depressors and the elevators. And I usually treat only the upper half of the forehead, and if there's lots of wrinkles in the lower half of the forehead, I tend to combine it with a so-called nasal therapy, so highly diluted botulinum toxins in a very superficial injection pattern. So here a patient who had an accident, and that's why she was quite asymmetric. You see again the forehead muscle and how it is correlated to the other muscles. And this is again from the textbook from Genetic. Here in this upper half you see the end plates, motor end plates of the nerve, and the closer we treat to the motor end plate of the nerve, the better is our outcome and the longer lasting will be our outcome. Injection pattern close to the orbital rim, and instead of doing what is often recommended in textbooks, a horizontal shape, I usually adapt it more to the shape of the eyebrow in a bow-shaped injection pattern, and I use rather low dosages in the forehead. So here you see the bow shape compared to what's usually recommended, the horizontal lines. And you see with this injection pattern, even relaxing the forehead quite a bit, the eyebrow stays in the same position, and you see that she still has quite a nice movement. Next is about positioning of the eyebrow. We inject laterally into the orbicularis muscle in a very superficial way, and this accentuates just a little bit the height of the tail of the eyebrow. But if you want to really improve it and lift it more, we also have to treat the lateral part of the orbicularis muscle, and you see when you treat these injection points, you get a much nicer lifting effect of the eyebrow. When you look here at the tail of the eyebrow, the crow's feet, and also here the lip crease, which is nicely formed. Thank you, I hope. Before we connected it to the presenter. Sorry, I don't know why. But maybe we can try to fix it while I'm doing the injection. and basically injection of the areas of the upper facial lines. And what I wanted to show is I also have a video of the patient after the injection. Maybe I don't know why it's completely wrong and it doesn't even go back to the percentage. But anyways, we are basically at the end of the presentation. There were a few more examples on opening, widening the eye. So what we can do is one unit just on the orbital, on the border of the lid, in the mid-pupillar line, and a little more to the side. And with this, we can open the eye a little more, but what we have to check first is that we don't have the skin laxity here. And another option I wanted to talk about was the treatment of platysmal bands. Platysmal bands is, as I've heard here, in off-label use, also in Germany it's in off-label use. For platysmal bands, the most important thing is to choose the right patient. If you have already laxity of the skin here on the neck and you treat the patient, the skin will be even more relaxed and this will worsen the aesthetic outcome. So what is the ideal patient for platysmal bands is a patient who has a very hyperactive platysma and does move it quite a lot while he is speaking or doing mimics. And in these cases, we can, thank you, we can treat our patients. So here you see the injection points for the so-called big eye procedure. But what we see, this relaxes quite a bit, and this sometimes does look natural. So you have to be very careful in choosing also video patients. When she smiles, she has a more open eye, so that's what was disturbing her most. Here's the participant bands, the muscles. I always treat combined treatment of participant bands with the depressor muscle, depressor anterioris. And in this study, we were treating the whole way down to the end of the participant. But actually, in clinical practice, the upper half or the upper third of the participant bands is usually sufficient, and what you then to achieve is a little lifting effect, the so-called Nefertiti lift. And here you see a patient showing prominent participant bands, but treating her. You see, so that's a real disaster. Don't even think about treating such a patient with botulinum toxin in their neckline. But like here, so she really moves a lot, and also when she is talking, she always tightens the participant bands. And you don't see a difference at rest, but you see a very nice difference when you look at the patient after the treatment. And then in conclusion, I have more than 6 years of experience with Theomine, and I haven't ever seen a difference between the outcome comparing Botox to Theomine, and if you choose a 1 to 2.5 or 1 to 3 ratio to Dysport, there's also no difference. We have excellent safety, tolerability profile. Already have the outcome after 2 to 4 days, and I could show that there's an effect up to 6 months with the theory. And with this, at the end of our presentation, thank you for your attention, and then we will have I think
Muchas gracias, doctor Prager. Ahora vamos a comenzar con el taller y para eso tenemos una paciente aquí en vivo.
So since the video did not work, we can mark it here on this patient. This is a very nice patient, and she's ideal for the procedure. How old are you? 31 years. So she doesn't show any wrinkles so far, and has no prevention of wrinkles. So can you come on, please? I would, if you want to know that, you would choose the section point here. But actually, you could skip that. Now count, please. So here you have the orbital ring, and this is where I choose my injection point. And in order to avoid problems, I choose my injection point a little, or my direction of my injection a little upwards and outside the vision. The other side. Now frown again. You see, this is the lateral end of the corrugator muscle. So we treat it here with a diffusion of 1 centimeter. We need it to the complete end. We treat it to the complete end of the corrugator muscle. And I sometimes see presenters injecting here and then drawing back the needle and bringing it up here. If you have these short needles from these PD syringes, so they are like half a centimeter long, so you won't treat to the lateral end of the muscle, and therefore you will have a non-sufficient effect. Down here, please. And now close your eyes really strong. You see, here we have activity of the auricularis muscle, and here you have activity of the auricularis muscle. And this is what pulls down the lateral tail of the eyebrow. So this I will inject first superficially, and for the Knau's feet, can you smile please? Turn around a little bit. So you can imagine where the Knau's feet might appear once upon a time. So this one, and here. And what is also important, if you treat the Knau's feet, the auricularis muscle is a round muscle. What you see is injection points like here, here, and here. This does not correlate with the anatomy. So if we have a round muscle, we want to treat according to the where the muscle runs. And what we also should not forget is the injection point on the bunny lines. Can you? Yeah. Next, please. So that's what we have to check here. And in order to avoid the so-called ophista, I hold it tight here, the forehead. Can you now frown? Pull upwards the eyebrow. So you see here, you might get a effect. So if you hold it here, that's what you're basically mimicking what your botulinum toxin injection does. So this is relaxed, and then this comes up. So we have to treat out here, and now pull upwards the eyebrows. So we could treat here, and I could treat here, and here, and maybe here, and here. So we are in the upper third or upper half of the eyebrow, and when we, so this is the diffusion, and when we hold it here, you see she still can move her eyebrow. There's still a lot of activity, and she can lift it up, and she will end up with a nice result. If you choose your injection points down here, if you hold this here, now move up your eyebrow. Yeah, I would have to hold it stronger, so she has very, very athletic muscles in her forehead. You don't treat the participated thing. Maybe not so high. But so here you see what I would treat in a patient who can really repeat it. So this would be here these injection points. So that's about it. You can even go relax this a little closer to the corner of the mouth, and then you can do one injection point in between here. Finish with this again, so you have the depressor under the oris in two positions, and then here the insertion of the platysmal band. In order to avoid extra bands, we could do an additional injection point here. So this would be 2.5 units per injection point, or 2 to 3 units of CME per injection point. This is 4, 4, 4, 4. We skip this one. Here she has quite a strong activity, so we would need 2.5 units. Here also 1, 1.5, 2.5, 2.5, and on the forehead, so you can use between 1.5 to 2 units per injection point. Any comments, any questions? So what is important, and maybe you can show it in the camera for the when we diluted, you have 2 cc or 2.5? So whatever you want to dilute it, the recommended amount is 2.5. I personally use 2 cc per 100 units, but also a lot of colleagues use 1 cc per 100 units. So it always depends on your personal experience and on your personal use. And what is important, I've seen a study from a colleague in the US, and he did not turn around the bottle completely, and he just put in the sodium chloride solution, just was shaking it a little bit, pulling out the material, and then putting back in sodium chloride solution, and then turning it around, and he treated his assistant, and she got an effect. And so that's, I think that some of the rumors that it's not as effective as botulinum toxin, it's just the wrong way of diluting it. So you really have to turn it around in order to get all the botulinum toxin which is in the vial. So that's very important. So just take